Well, thanks very much for coming.
That's all right.
I
Thanks for having me.
appreciate it. So we're starting it off with what your favourite drink is. What is your pub drink of choice?
Ooh, a pint of Guinness.
Always?
Usually in the winter. In the summer, vodka lime soda.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. I like your summer drink. I have to say, though, as an Irish person, I hate Guinness. I
What?
absolutely hate it. I know. I'm going to get shot after this.
No, you've not even tried it like with blackcurrant, even though that's sacrilege.
That is sacrilege. I was going to say, you definitely can't do that in Ireland. But
Yeah.
no, I just don't like it. It's
Oh
not
my
for me.
God.
I know.
Do the whole split the G thing.
Yeah, but do I ever get it right? No. I chug, and it's still above.
It's really hard. And then there's also the discrepancy between whether it should be like in the middle
Yeah.
or above or below.
Yeah.
Actually, I still don't know what it should be.
People just make it up as they go along.
I think they do.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
no
it's
right
just,
way.
I think it was a pub thing so that people would just get drunk quicker.
I think it actually is.
But yes, well, look, thank you, as I say, for coming. So for everybody that doesn't know you, Mishri,
Yes.
I'm sure there isn't many, but so tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about QXI. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes over the last couple of years. So yeah, talk to us.
Yeah, so I head up the operations department for QXI, as you know. So we're a group of IT brands made up of Montash, Remobi and Trillion. So very, very varied in that we do your traditional recruitment, contracting perm, all the way to Remobi doing nearshore solutions. So really, really rounded sort of offering. Lots of change as always. I think everyone has been through a lot of change, but we're in a really good place. Growing fast. The market has been very, very, very kind to us. So I can't complain. But yeah, no, things are good.
Good.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't growing. So why do you think you guys are?
That is a good question. I don't think it's necessarily that we are growing a lot quicker than other companies per se. I think the market has actually been forecasted to grow. I read a report I think it was the other week, that said by 2032, the IT recruitment sector is projected to go to about $350 billion in revenue. And it really comes down to the fact that, are we focusing on the right things?
Yeah.
We're a people first industry. Are we doing exactly that? Are we going out there and building those relationships with our clients? Are we making sure that we're lean and agile, that if the market was to change and fluctuate, that we can move with it? And that's all that we're really doing. It's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Well, good that it's working.
Yeah.
You're in a good place because not everyone's saying the same.
No.
And what about, so when you guys became QXI, because obviously it was originally Montash.
Yeah.
So what was the kind of reasoning for that? Was that acquisitions? What did you guys do?
Yeah, that's a good question. It was just as simple as we wanted a home to house all of our brands. So Montash was our firstborn, so where we were actually come from 21 years ago. And then came Remobi, and then last year came Trillion. And then we had 3 separate brands and we wanted to home them underneath one group. And something where like our people and incoming staff actually felt that they had a collective association with, which is QXI. That's where our like brand, our values and our vision and our mission come from.
Yeah. And is that kind of born from Montash then?
Pretty much, yeah. It's almost like an extension. We have kept like our historic beliefs and our values and what we stand for. We've just housed it under a different name.
And different name.
Yeah.
Nice. And what do you think about the market right now? Because everyone, there's different things. Everyone's talking about AI. Everyone's talking about, lots of different things that are happening. I think recruiters are probably romanticizing things from last year and then overhyping probably a little bit of the new things that are coming along. So what do you think that your team are maybe doing differently that is helping them to, to succeed and be successful?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Without giving away all the trade secrets, I do.
Just take a sip.
No, I think, look, it goes back to me saying we haven't done anything differently. It's back to basics, but also doubling down on the fact that we're investing more in our people. So yes, there are more tools out there. You get your AI tools that can do the sourcing and the shortlisting for you, but it doesn't mean that there's no need for our people. And there is definitely like a fear out there that is AI replacing our jobs. So what we're doing differently, or perhaps like other companies, is making sure that when we position new tools that we might be onboarding or the new way of working, that our people in our recruitment team know that this is all to aid them and giving them time back to go out there and build those relationships. Ultimately, when the tide turns or whatever may happen with the industry, your clients aren't going to remember your vendors. They're going to remember the people that have taken time to build those relationships with them.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's a really interesting point, is like bringing the team on that journey with you,
Yeah.
like actually, getting them involved in the, the buying process or the sales process, or getting them involved in actually why you're doing it, because I think
Yeah.
that's what, helps adoption and getting them to use it. So when you think about then the tools, technology, a lot of people are overwhelmed right now.
Yes.
There's so much out there. I'm even overwhelmed. There's a new
You and I
competitor every
both.
bloody day. So, when it comes to technology, how do you guys know, you know what you want to use, and how do you then go and decide, and evaluate the different vendors out there when there is so much?
There is. The market of technology is saturated. We're really lucky in that sense that we have an abundance of tools out there, but it's also makes it really hard to make that decision. It's asking ourselves the right questions, like, how is this tool going to enhance our workflow? Is it going to make our recruiters more efficient? Ultimately, whatever tool you onboard, it is to support our people both internally and externally. So is it doing that? And if it's not, or you're even wavering on that answer, it's probably not the right tool for the business.
Yeah. And do you do the same with like current tools in place in terms of like renewals, upcoming contracts, end
Always.
dates and things like that? Do you guys ask the same questions?
Always, yeah. We always go out to the market and do a comparison to competitor products and still have those conversations. Even if we're really happy with the service, it is so important to know what's still out there, because there may be an improvement of what you have, or it's just a reassurance that, no, you know what we have in place is exactly what we need to move us forward.
Yeah. And what kind of example then of tech that you've maybe brought in over the last year or 2 years that you've used, what has been, the most impactful to your day to day in terms of that efficiency that you talked about, and actually making that change when you guys ask those questions?
I'm not just saying this because you're sitting opposite me. But one that we've fully adopted would be Hire Deck. So Assist CV.
Assist CV.
Assist CV now.
We had that problem as well. We had too many
Which one
names
do you
for
want
all
to
these
call it?
different products, and then we had to house them under our name. So yes, everybody gets confused,
Yeah.
even me.
That's it. That's like the bog standard time waster, for a better
Yeah.
way of putting it, for a recruiter to format CVs that come in all shapes, sizes, formats, and they could spend anything from like 2 minutes to half an hour, 2 hours formatting, trying to make it look standardized, but it doesn't quite look like the person that's sitting down at the other end of the office. So I think that this product obviously has enabled us to, one click, make sure that what we're putting out to our clients or just out into the market anyway is really reflective of like the quality and the brand that we want to have perceived.
Yeah. And I think like, look, it's important because whenever we first spoke, it was definitely you guys didn't need a product. You didn't need
No.
really a service. You had something in place, and it was, like, let's be honest, it was working quite well. There was,
Yes.
maybe potentially a few timing SLA changes and things like that were
Yeah.
coming up. But what was it then? We did a trial.
Yeah.
Right. So the trial obviously is a great way to test the product, see if you're bought in. But what was it about after doing that trial that enabled you guys to really be bought into the product? Because look, we're a year down the line.
Yeah.
It's fully embedded in the business. So why do you think that is?
It's definitely two really clear reasons, and I think we've spoke about this when we decided to move forward. And one was the language compatibility.
Yeah.
So we work across Europe, so need French, German, etc. And what we had in place before proved quite challenging to get accurate translations of CVs. And then the other side was the customer service. One of the things that I really look out for when I speak to any provider is how much are they going to hold our hands and how much do they have at our back? Because when you buy a product, you get all the bells and whistles. And then as soon as you have it, it disappears. But even to this day. I think Harry, I only spoke to him last week.
Yeah.
Every month, you guys
Yeah.
are there having a conversation around utilization, how the product's developing, any training or upskilling we might need. And that made a massive difference, is knowing that it wasn't just talking the talk, you were very comfortable in giving the service that you said you would.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear. Delightful.
Pat on the back for you.
I know. I'm like, well done. You did that well. It's like I prompted you. But no. Thank you. I appreciate that, because I think that is super important. And for me, it's like, I can shout about it all I want. I can talk about it all I want on LinkedIn, and then we can share all these like amazing stories that you guys tell us. But actually hearing it from your voice, hearing it from someone that's probably going in the same, in the same position, right now, they're looking at their tech stack, they're looking at, what's not working and potentially still what needs solved. So to hear that, training, that, the onboarding, the handheld and all of that stuff, and the fact that the languages and things like that could hopefully potentially help someone else. So
it all does come down to the relationship as well. I think throughout the whole process, there's never like an element of hard selling. Like, you actually took the time to understand.
Do you hear that? I don't think a lot of people would say that.
But there wasn't. It was actually like enjoyable to jump on a phone call with you. It's never a, gosh, I fear I'm going to have to jump on the Zoom link and then have to let Kira down. Like, you genuinely, you got to know us, you got to know the business. There was no pressure in the process. And it almost makes it more likely for somebody to want to, it is a partnership.
And I think that works both ways though, it's the exact same. I think sometimes, if you enter these trials, right, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of work on our side, it's a lot of work on your side. There's got to be that kind of that give and take, there's got to be that relationship there that, if things go wrong, which, inevitably they do, they do go wrong. The amount of times you have to jump back on and help someone through that again, if you don't have that foundation of the relationship, I can't see that ever working, so I do think it works both ways. So I would certainly say that back.
Why, thank you.
But so is there anything from your side that you'd like to kind of highlight from a QXI perspective?
Yeah, I think if we keep it on the topic of like technology and the way that the market's changing, like, I know people, like you said before, there's certain companies that might have found that the market's been challenging. There's huge amounts of opportunity out there. Like, you've got to see it as it's a recalibration. Yes, there is change and we're in like a phase of change, but change is good. If you embrace it and you go with it, you will find that you'll come out the other end. And it literally starts with your people, right? If they believe in what you're doing as a business, they know that whatever it is that the tech sector is bringing in terms of product or tools or whatever, that it's not there to replace their jobs, but it's actually there to enable them. They're going to be more bought into the business and wanting to go out there and actually go and talk to their clients. And that is the fundamentals of who we are as an industry. Like, we are a people industry, and that's pretty much where the buck stops. Like, if we're not going out there and talking to people, what are we doing?
Yeah, and how are we going to win that business as well? And that's an interesting point on, the kind of the mission and the journey that you guys are going on, and trying to get your people, bought into that. And that's something I think every business, struggles with at different points, no matter what they've kind of been with. How do you then, and I hate that sort of hybrid and remote chat, but it is important, right? It is very much there. How do you do that now with a business that, is across so many different, even countries, for example, and darted about all across London and different places? So how do you guys do that then in terms of bringing everybody on your journey?
It's all in the communication. It doesn't matter whether you're London or whether you're remote in Birmingham, for example, or you're in Dresden. Whatever we say to one group of our staff, it goes out to everyone, and we'll make the effort to fly out there and spend time with them, or get them to fly into the London office and spend as much face-to-face time as possible. And it's in those interactions. Like, if we're not communicating to our people, they are not going to feel part of our business.
Yeah. And do you find that like hard to get people to come to the offices, or does everybody?
They love it.
Do they? They absolutely love the FaceTime.
They do. They just love coming to London, I think. They're quite lucky with where our offices are based, so there's never really a quibble.
Yeah.
about that.
And do you have like, are the team like going out to meet clients and candidates a lot more face to face?
I think more than ever now, we're really encouraging them to get out there, not just for meeting clients and candidates, but going to events. There is so much to be said to putting your face out there, learning more about like your niches and your specialisms, so that when you are going to have those conversations with your candidates and clients, you can actually come across and be more knowledgeable in the market you work in.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're going to do some quick fire pub questions.
Okay.
I'll be honest, and the reason why I'm asking is because I'm the worst person to have in a pub quiz. Nobody wants to be in my team, so let's hope you're a little bit better than me, Mishri. So we'll start with an easy one. I think even I would know this. So what does IPA stand for?
I don't even know. I've got a mind blank.
IPA, the drink.
As in, I know. I'm not an IPA drinker.
Neither. Yeah.
I actually don't even know. What is it?
It's an Indian pale ale.
No one knows that, surely.
Well, I think I
Does
just knew it
everyone
'cause
know that?
I read
Are
it.
there any easier questions?
I'll move on to some London ones that'll hopefully help. Okay, so which London Underground line has the most stations?
Oh,
I'm sure you get the tube all the time.
I do, but there's so many of them. I'm going to go Central.
It's actually the District line. There's 60 different stations within that.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm embarrassed that I don't know that, actually.
We'll do two more. Which band sang London Calling?
I also feel like I should know that as well, shouldn't I? And I don't know. I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to say the Beatles.
The Clash. I don't even know who they are.
Who made these questions up?
Not me, you can tell.
Oh, this is going so badly.
And then the last one, I think you'll know this one. What is the oldest department store in London?
Oh, blimey.
Think about champagne. Think about like, you know, when you get those really nice like gift boxes to give to people.
It's Harrods.
Another one.
Selfridges.
Another one.
Liberty?
Yeah. It's Fortnum and Mason.
Oh my God. I went through all
You
of
did.
them.
You were really close. I was like, surely she'll get the
You were
next time.
so kind. So no one's going to want to be on my pub quiz team either.
Well, at least you can just be in the same one and get them both wrong. I remember, what was the one I always got? No, the one I got once, which was a sports one, and it was who is, I don't even know if I've got the question right, but I know the answer. So the answer is Alan Shearer. And I think it's who is the best, or the most England striker, most goals. And I got Alan Shearer, I just guessed it. And then I was right, and I thought I was a legend. That was it. I was like, I've won this quiz. Still, I don't remember the question, I just remember the answer.
That's actually pretty good.
So yeah,
Good.
Lovely.
I'm going to go and research pub quiz questions now because I'm actually mortified at that.
Well, thank you very